Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Album War. Today we've got two really fine British progressive rock bands, kind of who sat a little bit on the underground. They're not quite the top five, right? Those classic five, somewhere just below that, but two very notable bands on their own. These are some great releases. The first one is from 1972. The fourth studio album from Gentlegiant called Octopus. And the next one is Graaf Generator's Godbluff, which came in 1975, just a couple years after Paul and Hart's band kind of broke up, then got back together and released this wonderful follow-up. So I'm going to pit these two against each other right here. So let's get ready for round one. All right. So what do I think of these albums, right? So which one do I think is better? Well, first of all, let's start with Octopus. So this follows their excellent Three Friends release. This is the last... As it keeps going. All right, we're done. We don't need that anymore. That was a quick round, huh? So this is the last album with Phil Shulman. So you got the three brothers. You've got Derek, Ray, and Phil, who started the band. And this is the last album with Phil on various instruments and vocals. And a really great album. That, what I like about it is that, especially Gentlegiant in particular, is that you've got a lot of different instrumentation going on. A lot of different styles. You know, they used the traditional rock instrumentation like guitars and bass and drums and keyboards. So you had, you know, Hammond organ and electric piano, Moog synthesizer, all ARP, all that kind of stuff. But they also utilize things like, you know, a little bit of flute, a little bit of clarinet, recorders, okay, saxophone, trumpet, all right, all sorts of different stuff, xylophone. So it kind of made, and violin, so it made this kind of weird, kind of madrigal, rock, folk, jazz, classical type of sound, which I think is really great. And there's some great tunes on here. So you've got some Gentlegiant classics like The Advent of Panurge, which is my favorite Gentlegiant song of all time, Raconteur Troubadour, A Cry for Everyone, kind of a hard rocker, The Incredible Knots, one of the most complex, crazy progressive rock tunes ever written. The Boys in the Band, Dog's Life, Think of Me with Kindness, and The Mighty River. So you got some little folky bits there, a little bit of poppy, a little bit of blues, you know, a little bit of everything on this album. Impeccably produced. And of course, that is a Roger Dean cover art there, folks. That counts for something, right? And then, of course, this was the album cover that we got in the U.S. All right, this was the UK album cover. You know, I think you know which one I like better, but they're both pretty cool. So a great album. And, you know, for a lot of people, one of the most intricate and important albums in the early progressive rock scene, okay, just for its sheer complexity and the dynamic song structures and all the different things that the band were kind of doing at the time. So, over to this one, all right? Graaf Generator are a totally different beast. I mean, both of these bands are very unique, okay? Don't sound like anybody else. So you can't compare either one of these two bands to like a Yes, a Genesis, King Crimson, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Jethro Tull, that sort of thing. These guys are completely different. So here you have a band led by Peter Hammill, okay, on vocals, electric piano, and a little bit of guitar here and there. You got Hugh Banton on organ, as well as a little bit of bass. You got... David Jackson on saxophone and flute, and Guy Evans on drums and percussion. This band was more about moods and dramatic effect. Yes, they could do the complex stuff just like a lot of these other prog bands, but a lot more vocal oriented. You got Peter Hammill's angst-ridden vocals. Okay, you got the heavy Hammond organ, the throbbing either bass played on the organ or actual bass guitar. From Mr. Banton, and the wailing kind of almost avant-garde free jazz sax from David Jackson, okay? So it's this kind of like cacophony of sound, and Peter's vocals are just real angry, all right? Nobody sounds like this guy. So here you got some really there's only 4 tunes on this album, so this was the album they released after they took a couple-year break, and you got The Undercover Man, great kind of creepy-ass tune, Scorched Earth, which is real aggressive, real chaotic. Love that tune. Arrow's kind of anthemic, I think. I always like that tune a lot. I love Peter's like kind of straining vocals on that. You know, it's like he's gargling with glass and just he's in such pain. You know, it's awesome. And then the real moody and creepy closer, The Sleepwalkers. So a very good album. You know, some might say for both of these, well, you know, if you were going to, because some people on the Facebook page have already been saying, well, if you would have picked Pawn Hearts, you know, it might have been a better choice. Still Life is another favorite. I personally, I think Pawn Hearts, this album, and Still Life are the cream of the Graaf Generator discography. Kind of same thing here. You know, you got Octopus, you've got Three Friends, okay, In a Glass House, which you see on my shirt here, Power and the Glory, Acquiring the Taste. Man, all those early Gentle Giant albums are just kick-ass. So, which is my favorite? All right. Well, I love this album. I really do. I'm a Vandergraaf Generator fan. I really am. However, I'm a Gentle Giant fanatic, right? And I think, for the most part, almost any Gentle Giant album is going to beat a Vandergraaf album for me. As much as I'm a fan of these guys, I love these guys. Okay? So unique. Every album takes you on all sorts of different twists and turns, and so many different styles and genres they cross, and the musicianship is just uncanny. So as far as like musicianship goes, got to give it to these guys. As far as like kind of like emotion, dramatic effect, I'm going to give it to this album. But as far as like songwriting skill, production, sound quality, all that kind of stuff, the win goes to Octopus. So the winner of this round of Classic Album War by unanimous decision, Gentle Giant, Octopus. Okay, you put up a good fight, Vandergraaf and Godbluff. All right, but live to fight another day. So there you have another Classic Album War. This time going a little bit of the prog underground here. Octopus versus Godbluff. Godbluff is your winner. Your mileage may vary. You may like this album better, whatever. Love to hear what you think. There's no right or wrong. Let us know in the comments and feedback below which album you prefer. Maybe you don't prefer either one of them. That's cool too. I love both these albums, but I'm an Octopus guy. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on the mighty YouTube. A lot more of these album wars coming up. Stay tuned tomorrow and next week and the week after that. So we're going to do a ton of these, all right? These are fun to do. They're quicker videos, so you don't have to spend lots of time on here, but you kind of get to hear two albums that I really love, put them against each other, and have me tell you which one I prefer and why. All right? So stay tuned. There's more coming. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.